Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Halloween. I'm here, your local fisherman. As you can see, I got my catch of the day here. And straight out of the water, we're going to bring you your fishing report now. So watch out, because the tunas are coming. So, all right, let's get started with the fishing report, guys. What's going on out there? So, Rockfish. As you guys know, everything's kind of moving south right now. The bite up in the upper parts of the bay has kind of translated more towards closer to the Bay Bridge right now. Getting great reports out of Baltimore Lighthouse, pretty much the mouth of the Magothy, 7-foot knoll, right on that edge there of Belvedere Shoals on the western side has been pretty productive for guys trolling. Now, what are they trolling with? Most of the guys are using these double drops here. This is a 4-arm with two 2-ounce jigs with 2 6-inch trailing baits. The yellowish color like this, I believe this is lime truce, and holographic green have been the most productive colors for most people trolling right now. Also, we got some people trolling with the natural bunker colors, and those have been producing good sized fish too. Most of your fish right now that you're catching in those general areas are anywhere from 19 inches all the way up to a couple in the mid-20s, but nothing too crazy on the big size yet. Now, as of right now, we'll recommend staying with the 6-inch profile baits. Spoons will also work. Those Tonys will work on that same rig, and they will produce fish. Now, what depth you're trolling, you're going to be trolling anywhere from like 15 foot of water down to 35 foot of water on the edges, and that's been producing some good sized fish in that area. Now, the Chester bite has kind of slowed down a little bit, nothing too crazy, but mid-sized fish there in the 20s. Most of these areas you can also jig 6-inch profile baits, 7, even some 8s. Now, what are people jigging out there with? Pretty sure you guys seen this all the time around everywhere, and I've shown you guys plenty of times. BKDs. Now, the Steve colors here, slimy bunker, just great name, especially because Halloween. And then pepper shaker, which is just a chartreuse white. Those two colors have been producing fish. Put those on the 3/4 1-ounce jig, pair up with a skirt, and it will work. Now, that's what you're going to be using if you're fishing anywhere from 15 20 foot of water and deeper. If you're fishing fish closer to the bottom, or you're trying to get past the schools of breaking fish. Now, a couple different things going on a little bit south, going towards Bloody Point, Poplar Island. Now, Poplar Island, you can fish around there in the mornings, evenings with topwater baits. The famous Mackets, any choice, any bait of your choice for topwaters has been producing fish there. Now, most of the fish are getting a little bit bigger now. We've been hearing a lot of reports of fish in the upper 20s to mid 30s. Now, apparently there's some fish moving around in the mouth of Eastern Bay. We're talking about Bloody Point towards Poplar Island and that channel drop-offs right there. We're talking about going from 15, 25, 30, even some deeper water. So if you're trolling around that area, stagger your lines, keep an eye on the actual water depth, and make sure your baits are around bottom, because you can go from 60 foot of water around Bloody Point to no water at all. So pay attention on your charts and make sure you're running there. Now, with that saying, in that area, in that general area there, you can run some bigger baits, since we've been hearing a lot about some bigger baits. And now, you can even get the big BKDs, the 10-inch ones, and put them on a 1.5 2-ounce jig and kind of bounce them off the bottom, or just kind of keep them down lower, and that will work for you guys. That will be a great bait for you guys right now. Besides that, most of you guys fishing south of there towards Thomas Point, Chesapeake Beach, Point Lookout, it's been a little bit different for you guys. There's been nothing really consistent in the way, but a lot of smaller sized fish. You can still use some of those stink silvers on the bigger size, like 1.5 ounces and whatnot, to get to the bottom. And there's still some bluefish in the southern parts down towards Point Lookout in the mouth of the Potomac, but they're pretty much leaving the area now. Now, for you guys trying to live line around the whole bay, spot are pretty much kind of gone. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna catch any of them, but this is the time of the year to live line with eels. Eels around the Bay Bridge pilings produce, or any kind of structure like I mentioned before, so make sure you do that. Now, Other than that, you know, the shallow water fishery on the eastern shore around the islands has been productive with a lot of fish in the mid 20s to low 30s in that, you know, Tangier Sound area. Now let's switch a little bit gears to white perch and what's going on with white perch. White perch fishing, they're moving a little bit deeper. I mean, you can still find them in the shorelines, but we're gonna have maybe a couple weeks of that, and then they're gonna start actually schooling up and moving deeper. Some of the bigger white perch are around the Bay Bridge pilings. Stink silvers with the one of the Chesapeake rigs we showed you guys before will work perfectly for that. Pair them up with a little grub or just by itself, and that will work great. For you guys fishing from the shoreline, you shoreline fishermen, great reports from Sandy Point. The bite has been consistent with LY, frozen soft crab, or any kind of crab, you know, peeler crabs, all that kind of stuff. Most guys have been catching them in the evenings, and it's been a consistent bite of keeper-sized fish with some fish pushing the upper 20s. And that's been kind of like the best area for now. And then also Kent Narrows, consistency of fish there at night when the tides are moving, of, you know, keeper-sized fish. Again, nothing huge, but they're keeper-sized fish. And obviously if you're fishing cut bait on the bottom, you will kind of encounter some of those catfish. Now let's go with some snakehead. What's going on? We're going to the tail end of the snakehead season here. I mean, it's been a great season, and right now there's a pretty good bite going down there. We had consistent you know, reports of people catching double-digit amount of fish down in Blackwater, and even some huge fish up to like 13-14 pounds coming out of there. A lot of guys are using these guys here. I know we talked about them before. They're the S&N custom chatterbaits. They're awesome little baits here. I mean, you will think it's just a regular chatterbait, but they actually chatter a lot. Biggest thing I like about this is they actually have a trocar hook, so you're gonna run that hook right through the snakehead. You know, they're bony, so that hook will help a lot. And then we also got the bust bait. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're not gonna catch fish on top water right now, but your chances are getting slim. And this is one of the swinging bust baits here, so great action on that. Plus it helps you keep the fish on while it's trying to throw the hook. So check those out. That's been pretty much a consistent bite on white and black and blue chatterbaits, jigging them off the bottom with no trailers. Besides that, minnows have been working, live line and white perch, and also just regular paddle tails with a 1/8 you know, swim bait weighted hook. Has been producing some good fish down there. Wait until the evening, midday to evening times for the snakeheads on there, since the water kind of cools down at night. You want to let it warm up a little bit. Besides that, we got pretty much crabbing is kind of almost at the tail end, but they're still catching crabs. Good heavy sized crabs, nothing too crazy. Go a little bit deeper for, you know, to 10 foot of water, and you will catch them. Obviously racer clamps are kind of like the thing right now around here, and those will catch you the crabs. Besides that, Ocean City Inlet, Ocean City in the back base, a lot of keeper sized rockfish that we saw this week here and out of the Route 50 bridge in Ocean City. I mean, we're talking about 30-inch fish. Good consistent bite of a lot of mid-sized fish down there. Bluefish, the flounder bite was pretty hot there for a few days, with a lot of the flounder exiting the bay, and of course a lot of small bluefish down there. Tautog fishing's picking up right now. Remember, they're cold water fish, and that's going to be a good thing to you know, go and try. Besides that, make sure you use green crabs, sand fleas, and even pillar crab for those Tautog fish. You know, they're great eating, so give them a try. Go fish for them over there. Besides that, guys, we got pretty much pickerel fishing picking up throughout the area. Like I mentioned before, give it a shot, get some minnows, get some small jerkbaits, and you will catch them all around the Magothy, Severn, all around this area here in the upper parts of the creeks, and even the lower parts of the creeks. So make sure you go catch some pickerel. Yellow perch bite should be picking up here soon after all this rain. We wouldn't go up the river, but stay in the lower to mid sections of the rivers because of the runoff. And that's it for the fishing report, guys. Remember, big things this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we got pretty much your sales event going on all day, Saturday and Sunday. Great deals, some fishing rods. Everything on the store is going to be on sale, even me. Just kidding. But yeah, make sure you come by. We're gonna have new colors for the BKDs for the sales event. Reps for all the for a lot of different manufacturers are gonna be here. Benchmade, Shimano. So make sure you come in, talk to us, talk to the reps, and if you have any questions, you know, we'll be here for you guys. And make sure you also have a chance to win some great prizes when you come in and spend, I think, 20 bucks or whatever it is. You get some raffle tickets. So show up, come say hi, come get some new fishing rods, new guns, whatever you need, and we'll see you next week.